Okay, part two. But yeah, Linkara, his real name is Louis Lovog or something like that. Yeah. I know how it's spelled. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but he just goes by Linkara. So, yeah, one of the best reviewers on that site, if not the best, and does the most intelligent reviews, I think. Moving on to less pleasant things. Last Saturday was the most disappointing outing I've had in Japan. Not that I didn't have a good time, it's just that I didn't have... I just had this huge hype built up, and it didn't live up to the expectations. Because on Saturday, the plan from the beginning was to go to Osaka and visit the Pokemon Center in Osaka, which, you know, I'm a big Pokemon fan from way back, even though I haven't played any of the games in years. Kind of a childhood nerddom, just great thing. And then we would go and have dinner, and then we were going to do karaoke, where the person in charge had said that she, not only that she wanted specifically to sing the American Pokemon opening, but had also said that she was sure, like apparently she had checked, that the karaoke place we were going to had that song, which which is what really surprised me. So I was really hyped for this whole thing, because yeah. So we go to Osaka, and we go to Osaka Umeda Station, the Pokemon Center being near there, and we go to the Pokemon Center, and it's a lot smaller than I expected. I was expecting at least a two-story building. It's just kind of tucked into almost a strip mall across from a Mossburger, where I almost went to eat. But we were going to have dinner afterwards, so I didn't want to do that. But it was so small. And still pretty interesting. Apparently Charizard is still like really big news. The Japanese name for that one is Lizardon. But you walk into the Pokemon Center, and just first thing you see is this freaking shrine to Lizardon. It's just T-shirts, binders, posters, keychains. It's just this whole thing just dominating your vision. You have to like go around the Lizardon stuff to see anything else. But there's still plenty of other stuff there, despite the fact that it's surprisingly small and rather crowded. And I figured on buying some merchandise while I was there, because why not? It seemed like the thing, just something to bring home with me and say, yeah, I went there. And as I was looking around, I wasn't finding much that appealed to me, and finally I'm like, okay, remakes of Gold and Silver have recently come out for the DS. Several people have claimed that playing Pokemon, those specific games, in fact, has helped them with Japanese, at least a little bit. And I loved those games, even though some, even by Gold and Silver, they were kind of starting to run out of ideas and having some dumb Pokemon. But I liked those games, and I thought the remakes might be pretty good. And it might help me with Japanese. So I thought, okay, I'll do it. I'll buy these and actually play Pokemon for the first time in freaking years. So I went up to the counter and attempted to buy both games. And the person was a little confused and went to get their manager. And I tried to explain again that I wanted to buy Heart Gold and Soul Silver. And they told me that they only work on Japanese DSs. Now, I was told by several people that the Nintendo DS does not have regional settings, and that I should be able to play a Japanese game on this one as the same as an American game, or a German game, or a French game, because there are regional settings. That's what I was told. But those were friends who have DSs and play various games. This was a person at the Pokemon Center in Osaka telling me that, this Pokemon game, being one of their core products, will not work on anything but a Japanese Nintendo DS. I kind of got to take their word for it. So it was kind of a bummer and also a little embarrassing, to the point where even when I found like a few cute figurines that I thought I wanted, because they had an adorable little thing of Mewtwo, and there was an Articuno I thought I might get. So I wanted to get those, but I was just too embarrassed to go back up there, having done that, having, been all excited about these games, and then like, oh, I can't get the games. I had even taken out the money from my wallet. I had pulled out an Ichiman bill for the games and set it down. And they're like, yeah, those aren't going to work on you. Yes. Put the money away. So that was disappointing. I ended up not buying anything there, so. And then dinner. The original plan was to have dinner together, but we couldn't find a place that we could all agree on and that had room for all of us, because there were like 14 of us. I'm like, yeah, you actually usually, for a group that size, you usually need to book it in advance here. I mean, there aren't even a lot of restaurants that have that much space. So we like wandered for a freaking hour looking for a place until finally it was agreed that we should all just split up, at which point I managed to find a place to eat within 2 minutes and eat within 20. I'm like, couldn't we have done this sooner? And then we went for karaoke, and karaoke's always fun. Or not. It was still kind of fun, but it was just kind of the most half-assed karaoke I've ever been a part of. There were, like I said, there were some 10 to 14 people in that room. And of all of them, I probably wasn't the person who sang the most and with the most energy, but I was in the top 3, and I was sick. My throat hurt. My throat hurt really bad, and I was like going through lozenges like nobody's business, and I was still singing more and more fervently than most of the room. Right from the beginning, I should have known this was going to be a problem, because this guy entered into the machine Bad Romance by Lady Gaga. And hijinks ensued, only not, because when the machine started to play the music, he stared at it, baffled, as though shocked that it expected him to sing. Apparently, he expected the machine was equipped with some sort of mystical inebrimeter, which would know when he was drunk enough to sing Lady Gaga, and then start playing. Like, no, the machine doesn't work that way. When you put a song in, it starts to play it, unless it's playing something else. Then it just goes to the bottom of the list, and it just goes down the list. That's how the machine works. It's not going to wait for you. If you're not ready to sing, don't put the song in. He boycotted his own song. I had to sing it, along with Lori, one of the French girls. It's like, I don't know that song very well. And I don't think Lori does either. And there were a few bits past that. When we got to the Beatles' Yellow Submarine, everyone pitched in on that, and that went nicely. But aside from that, it was just so unenthusiastic. There was a guy there who specifically told me beforehand that he was going to sing as little as possible. I can't help but wonder why he even came. In fact, most people, I can't help but wonder why they even came. We only did it for 2 hours, too, and it cost me more than I've ever spent on karaoke. for 2 hours. Admittedly, there was also free drinks, and I drank so much tea that it probably balanced out. I did not have any alcohol that night. I had just tea for my throat. And, okay, I think I'm done ranting.